Okay, we are now live, and as I've said before, this is David Ramonti speaking to you from Kiryat Arba, Hebron. It's a bit of sad news. There was a bit of a local warfare in Hebron between two dominant families, and the families that I am more or less connected with through my work lost six of their people. Sometimes I think the Palestinians are their own worst enemy. If they can't fight us, they'll fight amongst themselves. They'll just fight and kill and take offense. And it's very interesting. It's almost like in Hebron, it's the Hatfields and the McCoys. At this time, it's the Rajabi family with the Abyssinian family. Well, there's not much we can do about that. We watch and we try not to get involved in the local disputes because the local disputes are basically none of our business. We're not the United Nations. I feel sorry for any of my friends from the family, from the Rajibi family, that were wounded and were killed. And so I give my condolences to the Rajibi family for their loss. Now, here we are, waiting to resume our war in Gaza. It seems like it's pretty soon. It's been over a year and a half. I imagine it's going to, in October, be 2 years of war. Nothing is being resolved. We know for a fact that some of the hostages are still living, maybe 6 to 10 perhaps. But we have an awful lot of bodies that they've been keeping to trade us for um, living prisoners. In other words, one of the reasons why they're so very, very careful to keep the bodies of all of the captives that were murdered, and they know that they can get 300 terrorists released just for one body, one Jewish body being given back for their family to get some closure in return for 300 Nukba Palestinian Hamas terrorists who will take the lives of other Jewish families as soon as they are armed and as soon as that they're busy working at what they do best, which is terrorism. Terrorism is their national profession. So we have a situation here where we know very well where the hostages are being held. We don't know where all the bodies are. That'll be the next stage of negotiations. We know where the hostages are held, and so we refrain from bombing that area, which leaves only one other option: going in with special units, special equivalent in our army and the IDF army of the Navy SEALs and the equivalent of some of the best crack special units in the United States Army and Recon and Marines. And of course, that means that our death toll for the hostages will be very high, since they know we know where the hostages are. And so basically, what they're saying is they're saying, "Come on, Jews, walk right into our parlor and try to take the hostages." Well, actually, the thing is, you also have to take into consideration that in the past, whenever we got close to the hostages, they shot them. They shot six hostages in the head and ran and just left some bodies for us. So it's a difficult war, don't you think? It's a very difficult war. Everybody's quite concerned right now with all of the economic wars between the United States and all the other people. and all the other countries. I don't have an opinion. I'm an American, but I don't have an opinion on that. I do support President Trump, and I'm not going to voice an opinion about things that I have not the proper knowledge of. I'm sure that he is doing what he considers to be the right thing, and who am I to contradict that? No, go for it, Trump. Go for it, Donald. We are very busy here getting things ready for the Passover, and well, that's another week or so until we have the Passover evening. And what do we do now? We have a thing. It's called Avadim Hayinu b'Mitzrayim. That means that we were slaves in Israel. Now we're slaves to our wives, cleaning up the house, doing everything we can to make sure that everything is spick and span. There's no hametz anywhere, and well, basically, it's a very tiring 2 weeks or a week and a half. And then the Passover will come, as it's come every year since we left Egypt, and we will celebrate the Passover. And we hope that all of our soldiers, every one of them will be home, and they'll be home for Passover. I do hope so. I do hope so that everybody will have a good Passover. And to you in the United States and around the world, I want to wish you a happy Passover. And I hope very much that the terrorists will not strike in your homes, will not strike in your synagogues, will not strike in your Jewish centers. I do hope that that won't happen because ultimately the war is a world war. The war is Amalek, that's Hamas today, against Jews everywhere. Wherever we live, we're not safe. Amalek wants us dead. There can be no peace with Amalek because they don't want peace. As the Bible states about Amalek, kill them all, uproot them, because they are evil incarnate. And Amalek comes back every generation. You know, they were the Nazis with Hitler. There were various groups of anti-Semitics that persecuted and killed the Jews, the Inquisition. It's not necessarily one nation or one group of people, like, for instance, the Palestinians are not all Amalek, but and the Palestinians in Gaza are all Amalek, and which is interesting. We knew that not all of the Germans were Amalek, but the Germans in the SS were Amalek. So what do you do? Well, their idea of peace is very simply that they wipe us off the face of the world. Because whether we like it or not, all you people will be the collateral damage of the war between Israel, the Jews, and Amalek. Because in order to get to us, they'll kill every one of you. So maybe it's time for us to join forces. I know that's what President Trump would like to do, but can you believe what's going on in America? The left is basically aligned with Amalek. Amalek is the left in Israel. The left has got Amalek judges. They have Amalek people, and they have Amalek. Everything in the anti-Trump movement is anti-Israel. It's anti-Bible, and it's anti-God. And Amalek are you, aren't they? You that don't support Israel, you that don't support President Trump, you are the American Amalek, the European Amalek. And in time, they'll turn on you, and you'll have to fight them. We will fight them now to the best of our ability. Join in this fight. Join in the fight and let them know that they will not cause Armageddon and wipe out the world because they hate themselves. So I'm wishing you Shabbat Shalom, and if you're like me, a slave to my wife or to your wife, have a great, great time cleaning the house before Passover. But it'll be worth it. There's nothing like sitting down at that Passover table with the family and friends. So I'm wishing you a happy Passover, and I'm wishing you with all my heart a Shabbat Shalom, and have a good life, and enjoy the life that you do have while you have it.